Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Bomba right here on your Boom Radio NG. I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. Today promises to be a very, very interesting one, as we're going to be talking about quite a number of things happening in Nigeria and all over the world. First, in Nigeria, we know that security is on the front burner. We're going to be talking a lot about that, the new updates and the new insinuations that be going left, right. We're going to be talking a lot about that. The northern governors are also in the news when it comes to security as well. We're going to be moving on from that. There's a bit of politics in that mix. The PDP seems to be a lot in the news these days, and most of the time not for very good reason. But we're going to be talking about that as well. Also, there's a lot of sports as well from AFCON. AFCON is happening in a few days' time. And one of the conversations that always happen is that the calendar that AFCON happens, it kind of is a bit uncomfortable for clubs. And that's one of the things. FIFA has has given clubs maybe a little bit of leeway on that matter. There's also a few things here and there on sports matter that we're going to be talking about. And entertainment stories, good or bad, we'll see. Anyway, on that note, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show with us. If you're just joining for the very first time, my name is Dolupo. Yeah, you know, the one and only. You might be wondering. Yeah, you heard right. I'm probably the only one you know. And in the studio with me is Shala Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Boom Bar.
Okay, so we're going straight into the gist today. Like I said earlier, there are quite a number of things that we're going to be talking about today at the bar. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show with us. First things first, of course, one of the major stories that is on the front burner is really the security situation in Nigeria. It has become really very volatile, and it's one of the major things that everybody is talking about. However, in between all that, news broke yesterday that the Defense Minister Mohammed Badaru resigned, and according to the presidency, the talk is that is on health grounds. Now, I have a few questions from that, I have a few observations. One, a defense minister resigning, isn't it just horrible timing at the moment? Could we say it's horrible timing, or there is more to it? Also, the fact that why it seems, especially if you're on social media, it seems like there is more to these things, is that it just yesterday there was also a meeting with the president and the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, at Aso Rock yesterday, and there was a lot of speculation here and there. And then the next thing we hear is that the defense minister is not feeling too well. Now, to the presidency, I think this is second or third person that you hear that when one person resigns, it's always on medical grounds. Why are you always... it happened with APC chairman. It happened with, I think, one of the president's spokesperson at some point. Why are you finding ways to appoint people that are not well?
Okay, we can say that, and we can also say that life happens to people. Nature will run its full course regardless, and we cannot begrudge a man that doesn't feel well. Really and truly, we can read all sorts of meanings into it, but at face value, you can actually take it and say, you know what? Yeah, the man needs to pull out, he needs to go take care of himself and all of that, because everybody sick one way or the other. Do you understand? So
I'm not
the
sick.
man is all right. We will not digress. So, but the thing is, that's what it is. Now, that's the official statement. My own interpretation is that
I told Daddy go and resign.
We are finally ready to remove politics from security.
Yeah.
Now, the Minister of Defense that resigned was a governor. the Minister of State for Defense was
former
also a
governor.
governor. And both from the north, and seemingly they are done well as governors. At least that's what some of the experts say. But security is not something for the boys.
It's not any civilian. I don't even think that civilians should even be involved in that position.
I don't have a problem with qualified civilians.
Okay, qualified.
You see, it's not all people who have been in the military that can hold down the Ministry of Defense. That's not it. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes with it. You get the National Security Advisor is not a soldier. He was a policeman. Do you understand? But I like to commend him for the job and the journey so far.
Like you said, in my own books, Ministry of Defense, if you're not even going to be a soldier, in the least be a police officer.
Okay,
I don't think
there are people in security that are not any of those things also, and they are actually experts in security. You get it's a wide. The bottom line is bring some competence to the table.
Not just because
it's not because you're a party member.
Yes, not
you
because
understand?
It's politics.
And it really and truly, as much as I dislike the things that Trump said about Nigeria, this is more or less the impetus that they now have to take security serious in this country. We must actually acknowledge that the same statement that caused problems on one side, but it's the same statement that they are reacting to. Because again, I don't know, we glossed over it. You know, two politicians heading the Ministry of Defense. We glossed over it.
It's actually ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Now, it doesn't stop there. I'm going to tie it to another story that Dolupo has on our list, which is the restructuring and reshuffling of the House Committee on Security. All of this, you know, is all tied to the emergency security situation in Nigeria the president declared about a week ago. The oversight functions of that committee is obviously not being performed properly. In fact, there are talks of the fact that they don't even get reports and all of that. You see,
and you're okay with it.
I've been in situations in social settings where people fight for positions. They campaign, and once they get that position, they are done. They have nothing to offer. And I think some of these situations is what we are seeing playing out. Like why is the House Committee on Security not the one putting people on their toes? I watched the US lawmakers when they had that open session, and they had different people, even some Nigerians there. And you notice how in-depth they were with their, you know, research and their questionings and all of that. Do you see? But it had to take the US Assembly to do that. What about our own standing security committee? So now everybody's just waking up, just got a kick in the behind, and we're waking up to say, oh, we need to change the personnel. We need to put different people there. You get? That's one of the issues that we have had all along, because imagine if the House Committee was on top of his game. It would have started pointing out that, look, based on oversight function and info that we are getting, we think there's a problem somewhere, and we have to quickly scramble and do something about it. Now, back to the ministers. I strongly believe that the main minister, Badaru, you know, was asked to go.
Please, what is the...
This is my opinion.
What is the state minister doing?
Now, the Minister of State, a lot of people are like, oh, why is he not going? In fact, some people are saying Badaru should have stayed and that Matawale should have left. This is people's opinion, not mine, actually. But what I'm saying in essence is that, really and truly, I think both of them should be eased out of defense, and more competent hands be brought in. Now, you know, there's a Yoruba saying that Ajekelano Omokuleni Mo, that the witch, you know, screamed last night and the child died the next day. So they're saying that it's because of the witch that screamed, that's what they're insinuating, that the child died the next day. However, I'm relating that to this security situation in Nigeria. The Minister of Defense resigned on health grounds. But the immediate past chief of defense staff, paid a visit to
the president.
To the president.
The second minister too should be sick.
So a lot of
let him to go.
I don't say he should be sick.
Okay.
I know you don't mean it like that though. So what she's basically saying is that maybe he should throw in the towel and say, you know what, I'm done. And or maybe take them to another ministry.
You should go home. They'll be governors before. It's time to retire.
Doesn't he even have an election to contest? Won't he want to return to Zamfara as governor? So I feel really that if the rumors are anything to go by, bringing in the immediate past chief of defense staff as Minister of Defense would be a master stroke.
Yeah, I think it makes all the sense in the world. This is a person
round peg in a round
that has been really involved in the most recently in Nigeria's security situation. I think it makes all the sense in the world. Again, I would say when it comes to things like Ministry of Defense, maybe Ministry of Interior. In fact, let's call it spade a spade. Every single ministry in Nigeria can either help us economically or security-wise. And, generally, I don't think anything to be taken with levity. Do I think that politics will still not play a major part in some of these things going forward? It will. We can't lie to ourselves.
But you must strike a balance.
But when it comes to things like security, the Ministry of Defense, it is ridiculous. And why I say, take for example, I will say the NDLEA, for example. The verve that happened, the turnaround that we saw in the NDLEA in the past last 5 years, because whether we like it or not, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency is a major security outfit in Nigeria as well. So if we cannot get people that are if we just put things because it's politics, and even if you want to play politics, maybe play politics with no offense to anybody, but maybe play politics with Ministry of Arts and Culture, play politics with not Ministry of Defense. Again, I think that maybe it's time that the second Minister of Defense it's time to go home. Let's know what we are doing.
A bill should be sponsored also, and this by extension would maybe trickle down to other ministries. But specific ministries, for instance, without a bill, hardly would you find a non-medical doctor as Minister of Health.
Now, if we can do
in that sector, there are other doctors, there are other qualified people in the health sector, but hardly would you find a pharmacist now as Minister of Health. You get, and they are a huge part
and
the
same way
important
you
part
hardly of the find maybe someone that is not a pharmacist heading NAFDAC.
Hardly would you find that also.
Do you understand?
Because that's their forte.
So if we are going to do that, what's wrong with defense? Why do we use defense to play kalo? In
the justice ministry, it will be very hard for you to bring a non-lawyer.
I don't get it.
To be chief justice.
If we have to do those things, it doesn't make any sense.
Now, every time the service chiefs are promoted, an entire generation, an entire course, of
soldiers,
generals, majorly generals, are thrown out. Mm-hmm. They are pulled. No, let me use the military term. They are pulled out. That, to me, is one entire academy of knowledge. That I think we talked about it here before. You're supposed to keep them in one bank. You're supposed to still use them and work with them, even in retirement. Can't you pull those resources from there? Because you really don't have to play politics with security. But there's nothing wrong with the Burutais and all of the former generals, being available to work as ministers of defense.
Yes.
Now, I'm not just saying pick anybody. I'm saying pick the best of the best former generals, and that solves that problem totally. Because one of the issues is that it's not like a Badaru might not have performed to the best of his ability. It's not like a Matawale might not be performing to the best of his ability. Notice my choice of words, the best of his ability, their ability. One of the issues is that they have to learn They have to learn a lot of things. They have to go learn things
exactly
that they didn't
some people
understand.
Already know. So why not?
But there
why
are people
waste
who
time?
know these things. It's the same problem that we've been advocating for in the sports ministry.
Yeah, people that
they just bring all sorts of people. They bring farmers. They bring lawyers. Bring this. Bring that.
It's everything.
Dump
else.
them there, and if for adventure you will get to work with a Buhari, for instance, you are guaranteed 4 years. Tinubu can kick you out after 1 year, or even months. But you know that for the next 4 years, the guy is spending the first 2-3 years learning about the Ministry of Sports.
Which might not be totally his fault. He might really have plans, but he doesn't.
He has to learn.
It. But anyway,
and in the process of learning, Nigeria is lagging behind.
An immediate confirmation on what we're talking about. Just 17 minutes ago, one of the president's spokesperson, Adebayo, just tweeted that President Tinubu has nominated General Christopher Musa as the new Minister of Defense. A letter, as of today, has already been sent to the Senate President for the Senate to confirm him as Minister of Defense.
Master stroke. If you ask me to describe it in one word, master stroke. Watching General Musa in the last 2 years that I have gotten to know him on TV, news, and radio. No, besides I know I'm one-on-one. There are some things that he has learned on the job as Chief of Defense Staff and that he has highlighted. One of the things that he kept on talking about is our porous borders.
Yeah.
And he kept on talking about building walls in certain parts of the border. Now his Ministry of Defense is now under him. He's now the minister. Hopefully, he will be able to pull off some of these things. Do you understand? There is no better person as Nigeria is today than him. Reason why I say that is that he has just left active service.
Yes, so he still
understands
gets
it.
It's just a couple of weeks, so it's very fresh. Yeah,
still
that's
very fresh.
It's
and
very
he has
fresh.
garnered a lot of experience. Now again, it was during his pullout that I found out a lot of people actually love this guy. Did you see the way his house became some kind of mecca? People were going there, to show solidarity. Some people felt that it was removed wrongly and all of that. But at the end of the day, all is well ends well. Now, beyond this appointment, now I know that the Senate will put speed on it and they would confirm him like yesterday. Beyond this, now we can now start holding them because now he's a civilian. You understand?
I didn't advise civilians.
He is a civilian. So now we can actually hold them to their words now and say, because, the military code is different. But now he's a political appointee that is not a military man. He's a civilian. Mr. General, sir. With your honorary, sir.
Okay.
What I'm saying in essence is that let's also not go to sleep now because he got the job. Let's help him. Let's help him. Remember that you are also part of the security network. And also let's call them out when they are wrong. Let's call them out when they make mistakes. But I think that the emergency declared in the security sector in Nigeria is taking shape.
I like the fact that there is a level of action to things at the moment. Yes, and I think I agree with you that maybe Donald Trump's some of his utterances is what maybe the Nigerian government, the presidency also needed to wake up and, do a huge rejig. Take, for example, even the police now. I saw a post last night about the Nigerian police talking about how if anybody sees any police officer, and it's an official post with a VIP, that a video should be taken and sent to them. And my question, why I have an issue with that is that why would that even happen if there's a directive from the president? And now this is even off the president because the president is Nassau Rock. When he gives a directive, it falls on the Inspector General of Police. So at this point, who is bigger than the Inspector General of Police when it comes to the police that you need people to report? If we look at that because the IG has always been giving these orders and nothing has ever happened. I get that point, but it also kind of reeks of a bit of incompetence.
I don't think it's incompetence. I respect your view.
Because almost like y'all don't have a hold on your agency or whatever it is called.
Okay, I respect your view. You're saying this president has spoken. Withdraw all police aids or whatever from VIPs in quotes. A VIP in Nigeria is not just a very important person. It's a person that can afford to pay for that police protection.
Yeah.
You understand? At times, depending on how many you can take on and put on your own roster, your own salary.
Yeah, your payroll.
Yeah, payroll. Thank you. That's the word. Now, I don't think it's incompetence. You see, laws are made for man. Man is not made for the law. It is one thing for you to say, this is what people should be doing. It's another thing for people to do it. And it's another thing for you to have the capacity to monitor it. I was watching a podcast, Femi Rogers' podcast, and he had a guest, someone I know, Nike Ibirogba. And she was talking about, because she owns a fleet of vehicles, she was talking about how one of our bus drivers had removed a tracker.
He even took it off.
Took it off the bus and put it on a car battery in his house. Then took the bus out of town to Kwara State. But someone who knew the vehicle, who knew one of our vehicles, said, I saw your bus now, and called her. And she said, no.
So the tracker...
the tracker is still on. It's connected to a car battery. So they tracked the battery because they have the technology to know where all their vehicles are. And they tracked the vehicle. And, of course, it was in the guy's house. And with a little bit of pressure on the wife, she owned up that the bus had gone out with her husband and that the tracker was somewhere on a backup. So, you see, it's not that they didn't say, don't take the bus out. It's not that they didn't even put technology in place. But they found a way around it.
There are people that will find ways around this nonsense.
So, I don't think we should be angry when they say, help us catch them. You know, a lot of times when you're caught up in traffic in Nigeria, a lot of people, the bulk of Nigerians, stay in that traffic. But barely 2 minutes into traffic, you see another group of Nigerians that are driving on the side of the road. Some are driving against traffic. Some are turning around and doing all sorts of madness. But you see a lot of Nigerians stay in traffic. You get? Now, why did I bring that out? Is that people will always break laws. People will always take laws into their hands.
Yeah, people will still want to. I get your point now.
You can install all the cameras in the world. You can do whatever. It will not have 100% effect. The whole idea of having laws is to reduce, is not to eliminate completely. It's hard. It's hard to eliminate all the vices in the world. It's virtually impossible to say we're going to eliminate every vice, every crime. It's virtually impossible. But picture if every human being decided to do the right thing. But we won't. And they won't. And that's where it is. So people should not get mad when government says, if you see any policeman guarding any VIP, please send us evidence.
Anyway, so we definitely will see what is going to come out of this, actually, because I really hope that finally, maybe just maybe, this presidency, this government finally has an answer to Nigeria's security issues, and because really and truly our security issues have gone on for far too long. It's ridiculous at this point.
Yeah,
it is ridiculous.
So you're still listening and watching Boom Radio NG. We're streaming on Facebook and on YouTube, and of course on our website. You can listen to us on all radio platforms. My name is Sola Rogers, and I am with Ola Dolupo.
Yeah, thank you.
And would like to encourage you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on all socials. We are Boom Radio NG. And of course, leave a comment here. Also, share the video.
Anyway, Anyways, the bar. So let's just. There's something that popped up in front of the screen that I wanted to talk about.
All right.
It's really hilarious.
Let's have it.
It's not on our stories, but apparently, about 2 days ago, the governor of Akwa Ibom State had made a pronouncement, and he had asked the police to arrest anybody, any masquerade on the streets of Akwa Ibom, apparently it's reports that they disturb public peace and there's sort of a nuisance. Anybody just wears anything and then they harass people and all that. Maybe some people did not take the governors, like you said, people did not take those things seriously. And maybe they thought, oh, it's just one of those declarations and nothing is going to happen. Now, just today alone, the Nigeria police, the Nigeria police, the Akwa Ibom State Police Force Command, has now apprehended David F. Young, who was spotted in a masquerade regalia. And he's being charged to court immediately.
Wait, you people
regalia.
Arrested around. You arrested a masquerade.
See why I can't get over it?
Nigeria police, what's going on?
With this masquerade regalia.
How did you people do it? Did you use spiritual handcuff?
With this masquerade regalia.
This masquerade is supposed to have some kind of powers.
Like, at least you're supposed to disappear.
I remember a video that went viral about 2 years ago. One masquerade that had caned a young man. The guy decked him. The guy decked the masquerade there. The masquerade guy took off his mask. So it actually exactly ties into what I was saying. That this is how we do it. This is what we tend to do. A law has been passed, but we want to test it.
Test it.
Our guy is testing the
you
law.
would test it and you are testing.
Hello, Twe.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my Lord. That is just so hilarious. So, next time.
So, you can actually arrest masquerade now. Wow.
It has been, the person is already in court. It's tried to court. So, next time when the governor of Akwa Ibom tells you something, have sense.
And we keep saying it, when there's no consequences for crimes and
people think that
everybody will just assume that you can do anything and get away with it.
Exactly.
I understand.
I agree with that. So it's good, other people will learn. They will learn by force. Anyway, maybe still talking about the security situation, since we're still on the security situation. The Nigerian Navy has announced that they destroyed 5 illegal refining sites in the Niger Delta. The Nigerian Army said that they killed 8 terrorists and has arrested 51 suspects in their nationwide operations. Also, the northern governors are seeking a 6-month mining ban as they launched 228 billion naira security fund. They had a meeting yesterday and they're saying that one of the major issues of the insecurity in the north is the mineral resources, and people are using that insecurity to cover up other things as they're the illegal mining. So if that's
all right, are you still talking?
No, go ahead.
The Nigerian Navy, I want to say kudos to them. They destroyed 5 illegal refining sites, and if you notice, I'll come back to that. Refining, there are illegal refining sites. One of the things that still pains me is
not refining, mining.
No, the Nigerian Navy.
Oh yeah,
they
oil
destroyed
refining. Oh yeah,
5 illegal refining sites.
My bad.
And one of the things that always pains me is that it's not enough to destroy those things. Can we have them arrested also? Can they be made an example of? Because what it basically means is that they will leave one site and go to another one. They will leave one site and go to another one. And also remember that there's a private security firm or two that have been contracted to also prevent these things from happening. So I hope that they can work together and actually bring these guys to book. So beyond just destroying their illegal refining operations, we should also have the masterminds behind it. So people are benefiting from it. They should be able to track them. That's one. Now the northern governors finally had this security meeting. Fantastic resolutions that they've made. I hope that they put, their words into action. Let it not just be people just talking and talking and talking. Now they want a ban on mining. I say why. The bulk of the mining related crimes are illegal mines.
Yeah.
It's very hard for someone who has purchased a license from the federal government, to be the one causing problems in the north. It's the illegal ones majorly, because they're the ones that are doing it, because they feel they can. Nigeria is so big, and they're talking about mining rangers and all of that. How many have they been able to recruit? How many have they been able to deploy? To cover Nigeria no go easy. That's why we must invest in technology. You need a lot of unmanned flying, vehicles and all that. We need a lot of drones and stuff to monitor these places. We must be installing satellites and all of that. Those are the things that we need to stop those illegal mining sites. Once you notice those activities, then you can actually pick up on it. You can send your advanced team and of course do the follow-ups with the Air Force and all of that. So I don't think suspending mining is a call. I think it should be about even they clamping down more on illegal mines, because too many insinuations have been made about how the elite are the ones powering these things. It's just what I heard. It's not like I'm saying that's what it is. So put that aside. However, a joint regional security system is the best way forward. A few months ago, there was pushback when we're talking about state police. I was majorly from some of the northern governors. Do you understand? Once something doesn't really go their way, they tend to push back.
Yeah.
But now you hear them say they are ready. For instance, I think it's Kebbi that already has people that they've trained, just waiting, to hit the streets. This is the way. We cannot continue to solve these security challenges with the old way of doing things. The Nigerian army is stretched thin. The Nigerian police is understaffed and under-equipped. Even if you recruit the 50,000 today, will they start working today? Are they not going to go to police academy?
Yeah.
Are they not going to be trained?
It's definitely.
Do you understand?
Or else we have another issue of untrained people.
Do you get
on our hands?
Or
Yeah.
you just want them to roll out people like that. Maybe they just say they don't join police. Maybe they enter street. We don't want that. And working together as a region will also make it easier for them to walk across border lines. So I want to say kudos to the northern governors for finally coming to a place that we've always wanted them to be, realizing that Nigeria needs a dynamic approach to solve the security issues that we have.
So it's very interesting actually. So we'll see where all that is going to. Just wanted to also put there that Governor Zulum approved the 706 million naira scholarship for 300 orphans of civilian JTF and others.
Not just them. There are some other students. Some students that had to return from Sudan based on the crisis there.
Crisis and all that.
They're helping them. Some are also going to be sent abroad. Some are in different schools in Nigeria. And, I like to say kudos to him because he does this. If you just Google Zulum scholarship, you'll see several stories like that. He does this all the time. But again, isn't it also scary that there are 300 kids whose parents have lost their lives
in this,
fighting, and they are not even soldiers. They are members of the Civilian Joint Task Force.
Anyway, moving on from that, so we'll say this is a bit of good news as Nigeria's GDP has grown by 3.98% year on year in quarter 3 of 2025. This was announced by the National Bureau of Statistics. So according to them, said one of the major things that helped Nigeria is agriculture, is one of the things that have moved Nigeria forward in the last quarter.
Yeah, about 58 point something percent of the whole package was driven by agriculture. When we're talking about Nigeria's non-oil,
so basically it was agriculture and industry.
Yeah, services and all of that.
Exactly.
And for someone like me that's been monitoring that agricultural sector for some time now, it's actually still like we're not doing enough, and we're already doing this well. So picture when we actually go full throttle, like we go all out to push the entire agricultural value chain, and build a solid economy around it. Nigeria is exporting seeds now. Can you believe? As at some point we were importing too many things that we could have done locally, and it's just getting better and better and better. Now, it's not as if we have reduced our oil production. We actually ramped up oil production, but it shows that these other sectors are also performing well.
Yeah, we can't always just sit down and just be making money off one thing that we're not even sure about. Today is going up, tomorrow is going down. Anyway, moving on from that quickly, and let's talk a bit of politics. But before we go do that, I think a court has granted Mr. Showore bail and barred him from inciting public against President Tinubu. Now, the man has several cases. I think this one is the one that I think the DSS has against him about the things that he has said against the president.
Of course, he also had countersued, and he's also talking about how this government is trying to gag, the opposition from talking and everything. My only issue with this is that, like I said, don't be arresting people if you don't have enough proof, to put them away. Mm-hmm. You get. My only issue with this is which Showore were they talking to? The party chairman, the presidential candidate, the journalist, or the activist?
Anyway,
because it can't be the same one doing everything.
Apparently, it's the same one.
Really?
Anyway, before we leave the matter of security, something very interesting happened where there was announcement that gunmen attacked Governor Oti's advance team in Imo State.
Yeah, shocking development right there. It is said that, of course, it's the advance team, so the governor was not there. And also good news, nobody was killed. And they're saying that the gunmen were, retreating and whatever, and maybe they had come across this vehicle.
Can I say something that might not be popular opinion?
Maybe you shouldn't.
I'm going to say it regardless.
Okay.
So, there is security issues in the southeast, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously. And one person that the courts just recently jailed for one of the major causes of the insecurity in the southeast, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, is the same person, this particular governor, with all the issues that is happening in Abia State or wherever is he from. He left it and went to see a convicted person, convict in Sokoto State. But so you had security issues in your town, in your hometown, in your state, but you decided to go and greet the person that is supposed to be one of the causes of that issue in your state. And I still, maybe I might be wrong, still don't understand how southeastern elites feel it is okay to clamor for the release of someone that is now obvious, a convicted person of treason, of violence, and all sorts of things. How hundreds and thousands of people have either died, or they have family that have died, or their businesses are down the drain, or students that couldn't go to school because of some what's it called, lockdown or sit at home or whatever. That sit at homes in some parts of the southeast is still happening till now. And a governor with all the issues that is happening in this country feels that it is the only thing that you can use your time and your energy to do is to go and greet Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. I'm sorry for the people that were there. I really wish that the governor was there. I really wish that the governor was there.
No, you don't.
Okay.
No, you don't. That's where you draw the line.
Okay.
No, you don't. Anyways, the thing about it for me though is that it's obvious that not everybody in the Southeast believes any of the allegations against Nnamdi Kanu. It's obvious from their reactions that they actually even feel that he has been locked up unjustly, and that's why they are showing solidarity with him, and that's why they are calling for his unconditional release, amongst other things. So it's obvious that they don't agree with anything the government or the court has said.
Go and fight with the court. Go and fight with the court. I really just pity the people of Imo State. Where is he from? Abia State at this point. I really feel for you at this point. Anyway, talking about governors, another very interesting governor, because I was actually asking, I think was it yesterday or this morning, I was actually just asking someone that how come I think the Southwest governors, I've had I think 2 or 3 security meetings, and I'm not sure I've seen Governor Jackson in any of those meetings. Maybe the man just really had a lot of political issues that he was dealing with, but the state's security is not going to wait for you. However, the man is in the news that you might be wondering who I'm talking about. Governor Adeleke, yes, Jackson Nuruddin, has officially announced his resignation from the People's Democratic Party. Apparently, the letter that was attached to this his resignation letter was dated as far back as November 4th, which now explains his absence at the PDP convention that held, or in SR's books, PDP's
concert
that held they're held in Ibadan. So the man has said
which
that
is just
he has
next door
officially,
to him.
Oh God, he has addressed.
It's next door to him.
He addressed the PDP ward chairman in his ward, and he is thankful for the platform that PDP gave him, but that he's resigning his membership immediately as he doesn't think that the PDP can carry him on with his to help him achieve his future goals.
If not for anything, he is a serving governor, was a former senator, still a senator anyway. And so what it is that even if it stays in the PDP, which of the PDPs, who is going to sign his form?
And the elections is happening
so how would you have a sitting governor that has so much uncertainty around his candidacy? So I think he has done the best for his political career by leaving the PDP.
Yeah, and
that's the best.
And I think that let's even look at it from the angle that I don't think this is even about politics. This is really about survival. And why I said maybe not politics is, like you said, it doesn't look like there's a way that the PDP would even be able to give him any platform going forward. You can say, okay, maybe the people by 2027 they would have sorted their issues and all that, but his own elections is happening in a couple of weeks, and there's so much uncertainty when it comes to that. So it's just common sense. I don't think anybody can berate him for taking the decisions. It was also announced that in a couple of days he would announce which party that he's going to, and I think that's also another major issue. We know that Osun State has always been a battleground, especially for the PDP and the APC, but now it looks like the ADC would be in that mix. There's also Accord Party. Now we don't know which party exactly the sitting governor is going to. If he's not going to the APC or if he's not going to the ADC, that automatically brings another party into that mix there. So I think it's going to be a very interesting time in Osun State. Very interesting actually. But today, still talking about Osun State, Adebayo Ademola has now emerged as the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party.
Yeah, so which of the PDPs conducted this?
I don't know this one.
No, that's actually the next question you want to ask, because you need to be sure that this is not an exercise in futility. Interesting
news is that even according to reports on that ballot paper, the governor that has resigned, his name is still on that ballot paper as well.
That's what we're talking about, So you must have purchased the form. That's what it means. You must have purchased the PDP screening form and everything. And him timing it to release the news last night is against the backdrop of whatever
was going to happen today. Okay, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. Actually, that makes all the sense in the world. So anyway, we'll see what happens going forward in Osun State. That's the update from Osun State as we speak. Also, I think that there's some news from the ADC as it said that the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar met with state chairman of the ADC from all 36 states and the FCT at his residence. Yeah, you would recall that he just recently joined the ADC officially last week, and he's saying there's no time to waste, and those are his exact words: no time to waste. He's saying that they need to get to work. It shows that he's really on top of it when it comes to the ADC matters, because it looked like the man wants to be president. Yeah, but again, the reason why I pointed that out is that, one, let me first finish what I was saying, that it looks like all the state party chairmen were there.
because you could count quite a few people in the picture that they took outside Atiku's house. Now, the ADC is being shown to us as the vehicle that the coalition wants to use. Now, there is Peter Obi, there is Rotimi Amechi, there's Nasser El-Rufai, and there's Atiku. At least those 4 names are the biggest names out there, and there are rumors of each and every one of them contested, either individually or collectively. What it looks like now is that somebody has the right of first refusal. If it's meeting with all the state party chairmen, if there's going to be a level playing field in the ADC, those same state party chairmen should invite themselves to Port Harcourt to go and have the same chat.
I think
with,
that
with Rotimi Amechi.
They'll be having this conversation.
No,
would I say
no,
I won't say they'll be having it.
I'm putting it out here now.
Yeah.
Because when it doesn't happen, like I know it won't, let it not be said that the game's being played. It is clear.
He's probably the one that invited them. So the rest too should, if they want it, they should invite them.
Good angle, but I just need to put what I'm putting
the brides now.
Fantastic. I agree with you. But let me make this point, and I'm putting it out for posterity's sake. If the ADC is the vehicle of the opposition, we know that Peter Obi wants to contest again. We know that Rotimi Amechi has been campaigning already. He's talking about contesting and they want to rescue Nigeria. If one of the potential presidential candidates of the party is already moving like this, and if you understand how politics works in Nigeria, you start to understand that this man is more or less like the flag bearer in waiting.
Should I be honest with you?
What that says is that the other guys must be aware now, and maybe they'll be lobbying to be vice presidential candidates. I don't know.
I still think that regardless of who else is in the ADC, and I remember having a conversation with someone a few weeks ago about it. I said that I do not see anybody else, and I might be wrong. I don't think a lot of people saw the emergence or the numbers that Peter Obi got at the last elections. I don't think that he will get those numbers again. I think that it's a whole different ball game now. But I do not see anybody, like I saw, it's possible that maybe things have changed again. But I don't see any big politician in that ADC, if it gets to primaries, anybody beating an Atiku. I also don't think that if there's even going to be any semblance of opposition when it comes to 2027 elections, whether the opposition will win or not is another ball game entirely. But for anybody to even give Bola Tinubu a run for his money, I don't think anybody else has that clout like Atiku does. Yes, and he's already showing it with this movement. Yeah, I don't. That's the point. I'm just standing. Yeah. On. Anyway, let's move on quickly from that. Let's just go through a bit of gist before we leave. One major gist that has really been going on for the past, would I say, 24 hours is Two-Face, Baba, and his new wife and all the drama around it. And I think that is very sad to watch. The videos of, I think it started from a video that surfaced a few weeks ago. There was gist or rumors that came out that he was arrested in the UK after there was an altercation between him and his new wife. And his management came to debunk that story, and they posted pictures and videos and said there's nothing wrong with it. Apparently, it looks like that was a lie, as there's actually a video of him getting arrested after an altercation with his new wife. And after that, then it looks like there was some sort of a meltdown on social media yesterday, and some people who were, I think, part of his former management had quite a lot of unsavory things to say about his new wife.
Yeah, so the guys who talked, I think they just recently got disengaged or they pulled out
Yeah, there's
of
a
the
lot
two
of
Baba
drug abuse
structure
talks
and everything, and a lot of things were said. My own pain in all of this is that you wouldn't agree, and you don't have to, but the little that I know personally of Two-Face, I know he's a good guy. I know he's a family man. You know, I know he likes children and he loves his craft. You know, we all know him as a singer. If he goes into a partnership or a relationship, it is as Two-Face Idibia. Now, the lady that is married to now is a politician. If she comes into this partnership, it is as an House of Assembly member, a politician.
Yeah.
It is for you two to understand, and you're grown people. Two-Face should be like 50 by now.
Yeah, it's 50. They've both been married before, so it's not a...
Yeah, you're grown people. Maybe the lady should be in her 30s or so.
30s, I think she is.
So they both should have laid their cards on the table. Some insinuations that is getting too comfortable singing again or whatever is...
What do you mean by he's getting too comfortable? Shouldn't he sing?
Like they say on the shit, now that one off me.
If he was not who you knew him as, would you even say hello to him in the first place?
It's like Two-Face saying, oh, she's getting comfortable going to House of Assembly. You're supposed to support each other. And you know the sad part about it is that this rebound relationships at times, I'm sorry, that's what it is.
Yeah, they're the worst.
They are the worst.
Yes.
Because now you would not go into it with your senses.
Yep.
You know? And it will
And I think
go
that's
well.
the problem. I think that living a relationship for that long, I think that's maybe what the problem with a lot of people. And I don't think this is a two Baba problem. Maybe it's the kind of thing that you need years of maybe therapy to deal with. You need to, and maybe people don't also realize their own faults, because I'm always of the opinion when maybe two people are not together again, oh, you say, oh, this person used to beat me, this person used to do this, this person used to do that. I don't think we ever acknowledge our own part in those situations. And I think this is the problem, like you said, rebound, because he went into another one before even healing from whatever it is that happened with the other person. Or you can call Annie this and call Annie that. I honestly did not think that their marriage was great. I personally felt that they were two toxic people. The sad part for me is that in between Annie and Two-Face and this other lady and his other baby mamas, there are too many children that are being born into such a toxic environment. They are in the mix of all this, where you say you like it or not. They are his children that have to see these things online. They're old enough, they have phones, they have data, they have friends. It is such an embarrassing situation. Before even the one with Annie and all her meltdowns and all that, and then with this one as well, I think it's so sad to have children in this mix that have to see this horrible situation.
Yeah, and again, I saw a video. They had joined Freeze online. Two guys who used to work with Two-Face, and they were in the mix when all these things were happening. And they actually sent an invite to Two-Face to join them, and Two Baba joined them live. And the lady must have known, because why did she continue? Do you understand? If she could do that and all of that could happen. And I say to people, we gloss over many things when it involves men, but reverse it. Reverse those roles. 3 women on a live, a woman hosting, 2 other women, then the 4th woman is invited, and her husband is shouting and being that violent, in quote. What would we be talking about today? That would be the major talking point.
Oh, yeah.
So again, the way men face gender-based violence, and they're talking about 16 days of activism, and we're talking about gender-based violence, and people always misconstrue gender as woman.
woman.
Gender is not woman. It's man and woman. And the violence that women experience, men also experience it. I feel very, very sad that Two-Face has been brought into this kind of thing. You know, just 2 weeks ago, he dropped some new songs with the Cabal. That's his cousin. And, you know, they have this nice set of songs. About a month ago, he dropped another one. You know, he's actually building up his library again. He's doing music, which I believe is his first love and everything. And suddenly now, nobody's talking about that. What we're talking about is how he had just left one marriage and the second one is already looking like it's up in smoke.
Anyway, our thoughts, our prayers are with them. I hope that they, and this is not even about just Two-Face, even the lady and everybody involved actually get the help that they need. If the help they need is to everybody should go their separate ways, maybe that is what they need. But our thoughts, our prayers are with them. Anyway, before we leave all that matter, there's also news that Tony Elumelu has now announced the cancellation of his annual all-white party, which is something that, you know, a lot of people look forward to, and he's saying that this year the cancellation is due to the honoring of the 5 victims that happened a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw a video. I think this thing happened yesterday. Tony Elumelu was in attendance at one of his subsidiaries' travel program, and I think they allowed random people to come in, and the MC had brought out some people to
I think that was 2 days
to
ago.
perform.
It was 2 days ago.
And there was a guy that did a freestyle and everything, and the guy won the competition. Tony on the spot was going to open an account for him and give him ₦1 million. And one of Tony's people also offered the guy ₦1 million, and they said they were going to get him equipment and all of that. But the guy's story was so touching because he said he only came in there to eat, to get food, that he sleeps rough. You know, his family, he said he doesn't do drugs or anything, but he just wants to be a performer. He dances, he plays instruments, and he sings, and that his family had abandoned him and they kicked him out and all of that. And some of his friends had slid him and stole maybe his phone. But now,
I hope he gets,
he gets blessed. So
beautiful life.
I saw that and I said Tony Elumelu is a great man, and I hope that we're able to touch more lives in this way.
Yeah,
now the Afriland fire is the major reason why the all-white party was cancelled for this year, because you guys will recall that members of staff of his company and other establishments actually got caught up in that fire on Lagos Island, and lives were lost.
Anyway, let's move on from that. Let's move on quickly, as FIFA has now announced and said that clubs can hold on to players until December 15th for AFCON. We know that AFCON is starting in a couple of days. However, a lot of clubs have had issues with the timing of AFCON. It's always off. It really is, especially now that they're doing it at this time when, if you take, for example, look at Europe calendar, there's
a fixture congestion in December.
And then now most of your top African players, some people have 3-4 players that are going to leave. I don't envy the likes of Nottingham Forest, the likes of Manchester United. I think Crystal Palace, they have like a lot of their major players are going to be out as well. So now they're saying that at least they have FIFA had announced that they had to release them on or before December 8th. Before now, they said that they can hold on to them until December 15th. So maybe they still have about 2-3 games.
Don't get injured.
Yeah, they still have about 2-3 games, and I get it that yes, maybe the injury thing and all that, but these players also need this, like AFCON. Some of them need it for their portfolio as well. So let's hope that helps the players. And so that seems to be like a good thing at this point. Also, FIFA said that they're going to also be using VAR to actually check corners at the World Cup.
I just hope it doesn't slow down the game. We see how VAR checks adds extra minutes and slows down games. But I hope it won't.
Anyway, Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie has won the WSL Save of the Month award. There's a story about the CAF awards and how some Nigerian journalists had
And former footballers voted.
Voted.
That happens every year.
And all that. But I don't think we have time for that. Maybe we'll move that till tomorrow so that we can have a proper conversation about it. Anyway, on that note, that is all we have take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of The Bar. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.